All right, what's up, YouTube? I'm coming at you with a deck profile of a top 32 from the Saturday regionals this last weekend. This is actually my good buddy Bryce Miller. We've been friends for a long time, really good homies, and he's a great card player. He's been topping a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think this is his first big Digimon top. Bryce, you want to just introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm Bryce. Me and Joel have been friends a while. He's basically my main testing partner. Me and him go back and forth a bunch of games. I give him a lot of his security control details.
Facts.
And for this 270-man event, I decided to play Lilith Loop, which is my favorite deck in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And this deck's a massive headache. It was this for security control, but I didn't want to play 45-minute matches for 7 rounds, which ended up being 8 rounds. So
Yep. And you actually ended up 20th place, which is
20th place.
Really, really strong showing for first regional. So we're going to get straight into the deck profile. Bryce, if you just want to start with your babies and then go from there.
Okay. For the babies, I just run 4 of the Sunamon.
All right.
And I can find out what the 4th one is.
And why Sunamon over Demi-Marimon?
So with Lilith Loop, right now, your stack is so important, you don't want it to die.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to swing, but you don't want it to die, so you just want as much draw without the stack dying as possible.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And so every time you discard, you just get an extra card. And it also lets you get multiple draws for the out of the egg instead of just one draw out of the egg.
That's true. That's a good point. Since you don't have to die to get the effect off.
And there's multiple ways to discard cards in this deck.
True. All right, so then you want to just jump into the rookies then?
Before I start, I want to say I made a slight deck error in the tournament, so this helped with one of my matchups. I got a loss. My build was supposed to be playing an extra Vilemon, but I made a last-second change to play an extra Minoa.
Yeah.
I forgot to update it on their list, so my first 5 games I was playing without this Vilemon, and then my last 3 games I was playing with it.
Yeah, you actually got that game loss against Dan Vang, which was pretty unfortunate, but it ended up being...
I would have even beat him if I played smarter, but we'll go over matchups later.
Yeah, let's do that later. All right, so level 3s.
Level 3s, we got 4 Gabumon. This is the one when you attack, you draw 1, discard 1.
Right.
Triggers the Sunamon, helps you cycle your deck. It's the most important rookie. Gazimon, because stopping memory is good. 4 Labramon, because also drawing discard triggers Sunamon from off a different card. Like if you have 1 rookie and then bring it out and play Labramon, you get this draw as well. 1 Impmon, this is the 5th Lilithmon.
Right.
And 2 Vanillas, just to have choking potential, or also a very common play, if you can see this card next to, which we're going to go into, is play this, evolve into this, hit them when you have 4 memory.
Makes sense. All right, this is pretty standard. Yeah.
First off, the best card in the deck is Kinkakumon Promote. This card is cracked.
Yeah, I was
so good.
I was sleeping on that card, honestly, but it's actually nuts.
This card is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the reason Lilithmon is good right now for multiple reasons. One is that when you revive it with the Lilithmon effect, you can activate its main effect if you're fully stacked, which we'll go over. The stack is Kinkakumon and Kinkakumon. You play it for free with your Zwart effect.
Yep.
His effect triggers, you get to draw 1 and gain a memory. And then he has Rush, so you can swing right away.
Yep.
And when you swing, you can use this effect, even if there's no rookies, to discard a card and get another memory. So you get 2 more memory off your combo whenever you get one of these fully stacked. On top of the fact that it's a Rush, so your combo now kills people, and also the 1 to Digivolve over level 4 matters a lot, because one of the biggest issues with this deck is consistency. And now you get more draws, because you can draw for 1 off your level 4s.
Yeah, it's extra draw. I think the Rush is the part that I was sleeping on the most, because getting Promote off of Zwart and then being able to go for a game off that is something Lilith wasn't really able to do before without Anubismon, which was super clunky.
Nope, you used to just be able to build a big board and kill some of their board and hope that wins the game. Now you could kill them, and if you don't kill them, you've done a lot of damage, gained a bunch of memory, and still establish a giant board.
Yep. All right.
One of the new difficulties of this deck is deciding how much you want to do damage and how much you want to stabilize your board. And that's most of my losses were when I got Loop, were when that happened. I was just couldn't decide what I was supposed to do.
Fair enough.
4 of this. Second best level 4 is... if I can find where the other piece went, because I put it on the bottom. is 4 of this Ginkakumon.
Kinkaku, yep.
A regular Ginkakumon is it's inheritable. When you discard a card, gain a memory.
Mm-hmm.
So this card allows you to, whereas old decks you play the 1 cost to evolve, this card makes that cost reduction at your level 5s, which are much more important.
Mm-hmm.
And also they stack, so if you have, when you're going for loop and you have multiple copies, or when you just, anytime you get multiple copies set up, anytime you discard a card, you gain multiple memory. That came up.
That's what's up.
And, sorry, what?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, this card is super important. It's the second best card to promote. This package of cards is probably the best thing that got this format, is these 4 cards.
Yeah.
These 2 cards right here.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty nuts.
Then there's the 2 Kinkakumon.
Mm-hmm.
This is to enable, basically to enable the promote to draw you a card and gain a memory, but
right.
also the fact that it can discard and kill a rookie helps against the aggressive matchups, which this deck struggles against sometimes.
Fair
and then
enough.
2 Vilemon. Like I said, it was either 2 Vilemon or 2 Minoa.
Yeah.
Just have an extra blocker. It comes up sometimes. This tournament was without the purple memory boost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure if I want to play that card, because I
Really?
was testing it before this regional, and bot decking these white cards sucks. You need the white cards really badly.
Yeah, I could see how that would be bad.
The white cards are like, you need a white card setup to do your combo, or you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But so I might play 1 still, but I'm not playing members. And obviously, finally, 2 Vilemon right now.
Yeah.
Blocker.
Yeah, I guess
Level
you have to.
Sorry, what?
I guess you have to play blockers. I mean, you do have Rebellion Monza, but we'll get into
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Level 5s and 7, we have 4 Lady Devimon, 3 Rebellionmon.
Mm-hmm.
Great card, consistency. With this card, you actually get to evolve these for 2 each, because they both discard cards.
Mm-hmm.
They both trigger the Sunamon.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really good. This card, particularly, is really, really good against the Jessamon matchup.
Yes,
it makes
yeah.
the Jessamon matchup way easier.
Yeah, they can't do anything. They have to just
When
skip
you
their
get it-
turn. Yeah.
You get to skip the Jessamon's turn, and all this deck needs every single game is time. Every time this deck gets time, it wins every matchup.
Yep. It's basically like a cold wave, like when you digivolve into it.
Yes,
It's
that's a good way of putting it.
It's a pretty insane.
Level 4 is very easy. We play 4 Lilith.
That's
this
it.
This is the win condition. Don't play any other things but the win condition.
Yep.
There are Tidamon builds that use this as a side mega. I understand that, but this is the pure Lilith Loop.
Mm-hmm.
We just play the good card.
Mm-hmm.
Grabs 2 options. Don't always brain dead grab Jack Raid. There are other options in here that are really good too.
Yep.
But mostly you grab Jack Raid.
Yep. So no Tactimon, no Chaos Gallant, just straight up
No
4 Lilith.
nonsense.
All right.
Play
I
the good
respect
card.
that.
Your good card now kills people because of this card.
Yep.
We played 3 Zort. This is our win condition, our brick condition.
Yep.
It is this and Fusion are the reason our deck bricks and is consistent, but you need to play it because that's how you win.
Yep.
On Digivolve, draw a mill 3, revive 2. You have to decide what you revive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where the optimal play is to set up for a double fusion play, because now you don't just waste bodies doing that; you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the biggest way I lost games with going for combo is I'd summon this, it wouldn't die in security, and I couldn't get a new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, a problem that it doesn't die.
Yeah. Some things don't die when you want them to, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah.
You actually really want them to die.
Especially in purple. Like I remember people would get upset when like their Tapier Mons wouldn't die or stuff like that.
That card's still good, but
Yeah.
like I said, we want to build our stack so we don't play Tapiermon.
Yeah.
Options. Well, we play 4 Jack Raid. I like 3 because the card can get a little bricky sometimes, but in this format, you need more defense in your security, and so maxing out on that is helpful, along with 1 Underworld's Call. This helps with our consistency a little bit in the fact that whenever you're doing your discard shenanigans, you can get extra draws, and then later on, it gives us more promotes to swing with.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
The best way to beat security control with this deck is just keep getting this in a Jack Raid every single time you play Lilithmon. So you just keep getting a free damage against them every single second. We have the 1 Grave Memory boost to also recur stuff from our trash. And then we have 2 of the Fusion, because you only need 2.
Okay. Pretty
You
standard.
only need to see this card once. Sometimes you see it twice.
Yeah.
The second time you loop, you generally have gotten far enough in your deck where you can just play Jack Raids to get a Zord, and you don't even need the Fusion.
Yeah. So you wouldn't run purple memory boost over grave memory boost?
The recursion comes up, and it's actually me not using it correctly was one of the reasons I lost the game. It was lost one of my matches.
Yeah, that's true.
But I want to run over it. So the cards, there is a very standardized build of this deck. It's basically this deck, but 3 cards. The 3 cards are the Grave Memory Boost and the 2 Vilemon. They're purple Memory Boost instead, but there's no purple Memory Boost in this format.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Grave Memory Boost is nice. It's helps recur things. You can get an extra Lilith. You can get extra copies of other cards you might need, and then popping the memory. Get more memory on your turn. More memory this deck has, the more it kills you.
All right, sounds good. I mean, deck seems pretty
Finally,
standard.
our 3 Tamers. 2 Takumi, 1 Minoa.
Yep.
And at one point, it was 2 Minoa instead of...
Yeah. Did that hurt, do you think, like in the end? Or it was pretty late in the tournament that you got deck checked, so...
Honestly, they both... Well, it hurt that I got the game loss because of it. But otherwise, they both are good for different reasons. So.
Fair enough. So, what about Matt and Ty? You just not worth anymore?
Their Bond decks don't care about that card, and you want the memory always. So, because you have a chance of going against Bond decks, you don't want that. Minoa, even though it has all this Aosmon text on it, that doesn't matter. All it says is it's a 3 memory white tamer.
Yeah.
That's the most important part about this deck.
Correct.
About this card.
All right, so yeah, seems like a pretty standard Lilith Loop deck.
Yep.
I think you explained all your choices pretty well. So, do you just want to get into matchups?
Yep.
Like a tournament report, maybe?
Yeah, I'll do a little tournament report, but also to explain, this deck has to for the most part, all you're trying to do is just get to your combo, but you have to play against each matchup slightly differently.
Right.
So, my matchups, I went X2 out of 8 rounds, so 6 and 2. My first 5 games, I was playing double Minoa. My last 3 games, I was playing double Vilemon.
Right.
So my first game was against Jesmon. Like I said, Jesmon, you wall off the Jesmon, or they brick, and you eventually buy enough time to combo them.
Yes.
And once you top end, your top end's way bigger than their top end.
Oh, yeah. So I assume Jesmon, especially without memory boost, is like basically loses to itself. So I think unless they draw the nuts, you probably just beat them, right? Because you're just a stronger deck.
Yeah, the matchup is technically slightly unfavored, but the Rebellion helps a lot. This card is so good in that matchup.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you have the Ginkakumon, all of your level 5s cost 2 to evolve. So 2 to evolve with great effects is super good.
For sure.
So game 2, I played against Musketeers. I'm not super familiar with the matchup. I know, in theory, I'm favored. But game 1, I was sort of bricking, but I probably could have played better and played out of it and won. Game 2, I got the combo off and I won. Game 3, I Omega bricked. I drew my first hand was like rookie. I'm like, oh, this looks nice. Fusion, Zwart, and another rookie, 3 rookies, Fusion, Zwart, and I ended up drawing into Lilith, another Fusion, 1 champion, and never level 5, and I couldn't win that game. So
yeah, and you said it was you said it was the guy who ended up winning, right?
He was that Musket player was the guy who ended up winning the whole event. So.
Yeah, so
that's not a bad loss.
Yeah, fair loss. All right, so then round 3 then.
Round 3 was a free win. The guy didn't show up.
Yeah. Regional
early round, he showed up. He's like, actually, I gotta go, and dipped.
Yeah.
Game 4 was game 4 and 5 were both D Brigade. This deck has a crazy good matchup versus most black decks. Because black decks are slow. Commandron's a little bit more aggressive, but Lady Devi Inheritable and the King Kakumons help a lot in that matchup.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask, because D-Brigade seems to me like a Rookie Rush style deck, which Lilithmon historically has had a pretty bad matchup against.
It still does, but Commandron isn't... Right now, a lot of people are building a lot slower. They're trying to play half Rookie Rush, half hit Zwart and security.
Oh, okay.
So the first D-Brigade player I 2-0'd. The second D-Brigade player, it was 2-1. He won game 2 because he got Zwart. He got defeat in security right on first check.
Yeah, first check Zwart defeat's still good.
He first checks defeat, and then that defeat ended up being an X antibody, and I couldn't win.
Yeah.
But I won the match anyway. So that was game 5.
All right.
Game 6, I played against the yellow Wargrey Mastamon player. This was after the game 5 was when I got deck checked.
So this is against
game loss.
This is against Dan Vang, but
against Dan Vang. He's a very good player. He's popularized the Imperial list, and he also got a different tournament with Jesmon.
Yep.
At some point.
Yep. So fair loss. Unfortunate about the deck loss or the game loss from the accidental deck.
It was, but I still had a chance to win. I just made some misplays in my combo that I was beating him the whole time. I kept checking his War Greymon. His War Greymon never had any kind of inheritable that gave him extra minus DP. So I walled it off the Rebellion once, and then I messed up my combo in that I grabbed the wrong option when I could have gotten Grave Memory Boost to recur a Rebellion, which would have allowed me to wall it off again and win the next turn. But
so yeah, that's what you were saying about don't always just brain dead, get 2 Jack Raids off Lilith.
Yes.
Like,
think about what you're grabbing. And I think I grabbed Underworld's Call and Jack Raid, but then I realized my Underworld's Call had no Ginkaku promotes to target. It had all the other level 4s that you don't want. Yeah,
that's unfortunate. I mean, that goes back to what I said in the previous video, where Lilith is it's a big brain deck. Like, you really have to like check to see like what's in your trash and what you can bring back.
You have to plan ahead a lot, check your trash constantly, count your trash constantly.
Yep.
Something I forgot to mention earlier, Underworld's Call, another thing that makes it super good is they get their own play effects. So if you have 3 memory, you can get this back in it for 3 memory. If you get its full effect off.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Which is super helpful. So yeah, I lost the game 6 against Yellow War Gray. That was my last loss. Game 7, I played against Gabubond. Gabubond, you have to play a very specific way, and that is Turbo Lilith. You just get to this card as fast as possible, even if you can't combo, because they can't deal with it with like any card in their deck unless they Rattlestar with you have 3 guys on the field.
Right.
Don't let them do that. Just keep your 1 or 2 guys on the field.
Play around rattle.
You use the Lilith with Lady Devi to basically check their rookies with the Lady Devi Inheritable while gaining value with the Lilith until you can finally kill them.
That's smart. Yep. Good to know.
I did get... He won game 1 really fast. Game 2, I did get unbelievably lucky. And I will admit, he checked he did he was going to do 3 Gabumon swing into a Lobomon play. And he checked a Jack Raid in my first check. And on the 3rd check, which was my last security, I got a Grave Memory Boost. The Jack Raid prevented his Lobomon. The Grave Memory Boost allowed me to promote for game next turn.
Holy shit.
Game 3, I beat him fairly. But game 2, I got mega lucky, and sometimes that happens in card games.
Yeah, you need some luck to make it that far in a tournament, to be fair. So, at some point, the die has to swing your way. So, yeah, it's not a bad call.
I had, Dan Wang, I ended up placing better than him, and he's an excellent player, so luck happens.
Yeah. Last round.
And then my final game of the tournament, which got announced after this game, we thought we were going to play 7 rounds. So we play 8. I was mega dead. This deck takes a lot of memory capacity, or mental capacity. Was against Security Control. And even though that deck historically takes a long-ass time, this deck crushes that deck.
Yeah, Lilith it shits on Security Control so hard. Yeah.
Security Control plays a bunch of cards that are for a ton of memory, that give you a ton of things. Purple loves having a ton of memory.
Yep.
The only thing is that you still have to build a stack against that deck so that you can go into your Lilith properly, but you also just play a lot of just slam your level 4, swing with this card as much as possible. I hard play this from my hand so many times. I revived this card so many times. I play Lilith, get this card back, bring back this, swing so many times.
Yep.
It went to game 3 because I made a dumb misplay. I didn't look at his field. He had Matt Tai, and I hit 2 defeats in security. They swung for 4 checks. When I could have just played a blocker and not died.
And negated it. Yeah. Well,
That was but it was also 8th round, and I was exhausted.
Yeah, that happened around 8 p.m.? It was 9 p.m. or something like that?
8 p.m. and we started at noon, so it was 8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours of Digimon will do that to you.
But I ended up winning anyway, so...
Hell yeah, dude. Strong tournament. Only loss to the guy who won the whole thing.
The guy who won, and a kind of unfortunate thing, and a misplay on top of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, super strong tournament, Bryce. Super awesome. Great Lilith looping.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks? Any shout-outs?
Would you like me to quickly go over the loop if people have not seen it before?
Oh, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do a little instructional if you're a Lilith beginner.
Lilith Loop, you get to a level 5. You have 3 memory, or you have a way to get 3 memory with either your Tamers or your amount of Jack Raids and memory boosts.
Or you just have Menua on the board.
Or you just have Menua. Some way to get 3 memory, so you can go into Lilith safely. You play Lilith. Oh, sword's dropping. You digivolve into Lilith. Lilith will grab at least one Jack Raid, and maybe two Jack Raids or something else. Depends on what you want. You don't have to play the Jack Raid yet, but you play the Mega Digimon Fusion because this card is cracked and broken and borderline unfair. You play it. Lilith gets you 2 memory with her effect. This lets you play Zwart for free.
Yep.
Zwart revives 2 cards. They could be Ginkaku Promote, or they can be a level 5. Ginkaku Promote for damage on top of the, like I aforementioned, memory gain effect with his own effect, getting these 2 in the stack. The level 5 is so that you can get a new Lilith. You swing, return Lilith to your hand, regardless if they have something to kill or not.
Yeah.
Play Lilith again, get your graveyard cards back, and that's the loop.
Yep.
This one can't attack again, but sometimes you can just, if you have a second way to play Fusion, go to the second one, get more Ginkaku Promote attacks.
Yeah.
And you gain a ton of memory, because once you doing just this gains you a memory on top of you already gaining memory from Lilithmon and the free Mega Digimon Fusion.
Yep.
Plus, it gets you another memory once you activate the Ginkakumon Inheritable once you swing.
And delete something, right?
Generally, they don't have a rookie at the time. Most of the time, they didn't have a rookie at this point.
Fair enough.
It's like late, like you get the combo when you're going for the game. They're already kind of set up,
yeah.
But you're just trying to kill them.
All right, so there you go, guys. How to loop. If you didn't know how to loop, now you can
loop-de-loop.
Now you can loop-de-loop and pull, and your wins are looking good. All right.
Exactly.
So, any last words, Bryce?
This deck is super fun. It's super hard. If you like skill-intensive decks, this is very, very fun. But be warned, bricks will make you sad.
Yeah, as
like
any
as
deck.
Most Digimon decks, but this deck's bricks feel real bad. They look something like this.
Yeah, just a lot of white cards.
a lot of white cards before you've set up.
Yeah.
They can even have rookies in it, and you'll think you're not bricked, but you'll be bricked.
You'll be bricked. All right. Well, GG's, Bryce. Good shit on the top. Everyone, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Got a little insight into regionals and how to play this deck. GG's, everyone.